Hello and welcome to this brand new web series called The Why of Teaching. My name is JOANNE Wright, Pinellas County's 2014 Teacher of the Year and the proud host of The Why of Teaching. We're going to be hitting on some hot topics with our teachers and offering solutions from teachers in the field. You'll also see some teaching strategies and processes happening as we strive for 100% student success in Pinellas County. If you're not an educator, this is a great opportunity to see what's on teachers' minds and what's happening in our classrooms. Sit back and enjoy the show, The Why of Teaching. Welcome back. Tonight we have the pleasure of taking part in a roundtable discussion alongside some former Pinellas County District Teachers of the Year. We will begin the show with a trip down memory lane as our educators reflect on the year they won. Our hot topic, however, centers on something a lot of teachers are struggling with today, striving for that work-life balance. Let's go to our roundtable discussion to gather some insights on how our educators strive to achieve this. Welcome to our roundtable discussion. We're going to begin by introducing our participants. To my right, we have Ms. Pam Moore, our Associate Superintendent of Teaching and Learning.
Thank you, and I'm thrilled to be here today. I am the 1984, probably the oldest on this panel, Teacher of the Year for Pinellas County Schools. Proud to be here.
And to her right, we have Ms. BRIDGET BOHNET. She's a middle school math teacher.
Thank you for having me. I'm the 2009 Teacher of the Year.
And to my left over here, we have Kevin Ford, and he is from high school. He's a band director.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here, and I was the 2014 Teacher of the Year.
And to my left, we have Ms. Kim Lopez, and she is an elementary school teacher.
Thank you very much. I am honored to be here. I am currently the 2015 Teacher of the Year.
And so the topic that we'd like to begin with today, and actually, Bridget, I will begin by asking you, what did it mean to you to represent Pinellas County School as the District Teacher of the Year? Can you share your reflections upon that year with us?
Certainly. It was an interesting year that year. We were merging, so we were expanding our population, going from 500 students at our school to 800, so there was a lot going on in the background during that school year. And so when it was announced, it really wasn't anything that came into reality right away. And so of course you carried on your business and you did what you normally do. And I'm very fortunate to work with an excellent group of teachers that collaborate constantly. So when the award came through, I felt like it was an award for our entire school, not just me. And so that was definitely a bonus for our entire faculty because I do work with an amazing group of people.
Thanks. How about you, Ms. Moore?
Well, as I said before, I am the oldest member of this distinguished panel, but I would say in 1984 the competition was quite different. It included administrators. It included, I happened to be a reading specialist at that time, a job that no longer exists, but pre-coach days, and of course classroom teachers. And they had not thought of the wonderful idea of telling you in front of your students, which I just think is absolutely fabulous. But it was a large auditorium, and they just call your name out, and it was an absolutely wonderful day. But I would also say that, and I'm sure my colleagues here would share, the honor of representing the workforce for Pinellas County Schools is something that I will treasure as a memory forever. It represents a lot of hard work of not just the individual who's singled out that time, but of the workforce that happens every single day.
I agree. It definitely brings to light just recognition for teachers. To me, it was a beautiful community bonding moment as well, to really see the community come together and just elevate the teaching profession. What an honor just to be the face that represents that. How did you feel, Kevin?
I was actually very reluctant to get involved in it to begin with, just because I didn't want to that attention, you know, on me individually. But when it was explained to me that this is really a recognition of all teachers and the positive things that are going on in our school and in our community, and it was an opportunity for us to highlight all of our teachers, and especially my colleagues that I teach with, because I work with an all-star cast. So it was an opportunity for us to be able to expose what we were doing and maybe explain a little bit more about the importance of the performing arts and how that can help children in all aspects of their life. So from that perspective, it was certainly something that I was proud to be a part of, and it was very humbling. And as Pam said, it was an honor to represent all teachers, because in that position you were exposed to more teachers and you're able to see what more people were doing outside of your school and in your school. Then you realized what a special thing that was, and what an honor it was, because for me, I always felt inferior, to be honest with you, to the people that were around me and what they were doing. And I was just amazed, and it was certainly humbling to go around the state and see what other people were doing, and it was inspiring too, to, you know, to get back and apply that to my own teaching.
How do you feel, Kim?
Well, I have to agree with each and every one of them. This year has been special not only for me, but for my school. I, too, was reluctant to even fill out the application, but my principal did encourage me and say, this isn't about you. This is about every one of the teachers that are at Melrose Elementary giving their 110% every day. And so, and they see that I'm not perfect. The best thing is I make mistakes, and my classroom is not a model classroom. And they see that when things don't go right, that I'm constantly looking for ways to improve. So I've worked with the young teachers, I've taken on an intern, and it's been a great year so far.
I think also just reflecting on our personal growth, I would obviously agree with everything that you said, and Kevin, I like how you spoke to it just being a feather in your cap to really advocate for your profession. I felt like it was an opportunity for me to fill that space that others saw me in. It was very nerve-wracking, to be honest. I feel far from perfect. I look around me and I'm continually trying to learn from everybody else around me, and just to even entertain the idea that I was up there on that level with teachers that I'd worked alongside and seen. Blew my mind, and I still thought they've made this mistake. They confused the fan favorite with the teacher of the year. This is going to look terrible in our district. And now we just have to name her the teacher of the year because that's what we said. I think my true growing experience came after I became the teacher of the year.
Absolutely.
I think it was big shoes to fill.
Like you're saying is that it raises you to that level where nobody's perfect and nobody does this profession 100% all of the time, and you're always striving to find, you know, the next best strategy or what's going to work for your kids, and every classroom is different. But now you've got the opportunity to work with the best of the best, and so by going out and seeing, you know, different teachers in different classrooms really elevated my teaching, because you got to be exposed to what works in classrooms. And you're right, not every classroom everything works, so you have to find out what works for you.
When we all went through the process of meeting people at the state level in this process, you're in awe, just as you said, of just saying the company you keep. But it is a wonderful platform to advocate for this profession, this worthy profession that we all chose because we want to inspire, we want to make a difference. But you can make a difference in a lot of different ways.
When I did the state portion of that, we were able to speak to the Commissioner of Education.
Yes.
And the people that were in charge of the VAM scores and all the things that we're currently challenged with at the moment. And it presented that opportunity for me to represent not just my own views and opinions, but my colleagues' views and opinions, and discuss those things and discuss those challenges. And what I learned is sometimes you feel like they're putting this on you. But I learned these are really good people, and their heart is in the right place. Where I think we struggle sometimes is the implementation. And us being, you know, in a collaborative environment and in a collaborative situation, it allows us to maybe tailor that to a way that maybe could be better for all of us. And I think sometimes this particular platform allowed me the opportunity to speak to them about my feelings on that, my colleagues' feelings, what we were struggling at that time. VAM was a big issue with that, and it provided me the opportunity to talk about how that could negatively impact teachers who are really succeeding at a high level and with students. Because if you start just putting everybody's scores together, and then it's gonna discourage some people from working with maybe people who are struggling. And I think that's the opposite of what we want. We want our teachers who are highly effective to work with those and not be afraid of that. So I think we have to have a system that encourages that, not discourages that. And this provided me that opportunity to speak to the commissioner about that. And I still actually, we're having conversations with him continually about that. So at least for that, I felt, whether ultimately makes a difference or not, I felt like at that time that our voices were heard in that, and I believe sincerely that they accepted that, and we're trying to make some positive changes towards that.
One of the most fabulous things that even this many years later for me, that you're still in contact with those same, you know, excellent educators, and when something comes up or they find a new, you know, tech concept, they'll shoot an email out to all of us in that group email, and it's, you know, it's so nice to know that you've got, you know, all those people behind you, so it's not just you and your school, it's the entire state of Florida that's working together to make education better. So what a powerful movement.
Well, stay tuned, because coming up next, we're going to talk about work-life balance and how our panel of teachers strive to attain that.
When they come in, they know that there's an expectation there that we have built a family atmosphere. And, you know, in the beginning of the year, we set norms. What should you know, and expectations of how they should treat each other. And after a while, they just start saying, well, yeah, that's my avid brother, or that's my avid cousin, because they're in 8th grade. They know that they can rely on you as well, and that will help with their learning. My choice, my Pinellas County Schools.
Love is for me is being able to provide a good quality environment for them when they come through the lunchroom. Love is listening to their laughter, sometimes their tears. And when you do your job with love, you never know whose heart you're gonna touch. My choice, my Pinellas County Schools.